Our Lord's Sermon on the Mount, explained by Saint Augustine, chapter 13. In the next place, he goes on to say, "And if your right eye offend you, pluck it out and cast it from you, for it is profitable for you that one of your members should perish, and not that your whole body should go into hell." Here certainly there is need of great courage in order to cut off one's members. For whatever it is that is meant by the eye, undoubtedly it is such a thing as is ardently loved. For those who wish to express their affection strongly are wont to speak thus: "I love him as my own eyes," or even more than my own eyes. Then, when the word right is added, it is meant perhaps to intensify the strength of the affection. For although these bodily eyes of ours are turned in a common direction for the purpose of seeing, and if both are turned they have equal power, yet men are more afraid of losing the right one. So that the sense in this case is, whatever it is which you so love that you reckon it as a right eye, if it offends you, i.e., if it proves a hindrance to you on the way to true happiness, pluck it out and cast it from you. For it is profitable for you that one of these which you so love, that they cleave to you as if they were members, should perish, rather than that your whole body should be cast into hell. But since he follows it up with a similar statement respecting the right hand, "If your right hand offend you, cut it off and cast it from you. For it is profitable for you that one of your members should perish, and not that your whole body should go into hell." He compels us to inquire more carefully what he has spoken of as an eye. And as regards this inquiry, nothing occurs to me as a more suitable explanation than a greatly beloved friend, for this certainly is something which we may rightly call a member, which we ardently love. And this friend a counselor, for it is an eye, as it were, pointing out the road, and that in divine things, for it is the right eye, so that the left is indeed a beloved counselor, but in earthly matters pertaining to the necessities of the body, concerning which as a cause of stumbling it was superfluous to speak, inasmuch as not even the right was to be spared. Now a counselor in divine things is a cause of stumbling, if he endeavors to lead one into any dangerous heresy under the guise of religion and doctrine. Hence also, let the right hand be taken in the sense of a beloved helper and assistant in divine works, for in like manner as contemplation is rightly understood as having its seat in the eye, so action in the right hand, so that the left hand may be understood in reference to works which are necessary for this life, for the body, and for the body. Chapter 14. It has been said, "Whosoever shall put away his wife, let him give her a writing of divorcement." This is the lesser righteousness of the Pharisees, which is not opposed by what our Lord says, "But I say unto you that whosoever shall put away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication, causes her to commit adultery. And whosoever shall marry her that is loosed from her husband commits adultery. For he who gave the commandment that a writing of divorce should be given did not give the commandment that a wife should be put away, but whosoever shall put away, says he, let him give her a writing of divorce. in order that the thought of such a writing might moderate the rash anger of him who was getting rid of his wife. And therefore he who sought to interpose a delay in putting away indicated as far as he could to hard-hearted men that he did not wish separation. And accordingly, the Lord himself in another passage, when a question was asked him as to this matter, gave this reply: Moses did so because of the hardness of your hearts. For however hard-hearted a man may be who wishes to put away his wife, when he reflects that on a writing of divorcement being given her, she could then without risk marry another, he would be easily appeased. Our Lord, therefore, in order to confirm that principle, that a wife should not lightly be put away, made the single exception of fornication, but enjoins that all other annoyances, if any such should happen to spring up, be borne with fortitude for the sake of conjugal fidelity and for the sake of chastity, and he also calls that man an adulterer who should marry her that has been divorced by her husband. And the Apostle Paul shows the limit of this state of affairs, for he says it is to be observed as long as her husband lives, but on the husband's death he gives permission to marry. For he himself also held by this rule, and therein brings forward not his own advice, as in the case of some of his admonitions, but a command by the Lord when he says, And unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord, let not the wife depart from her husband, but, and if she depart, let her remain unmarried, or be reconciled to her husband. And let not the husband put away his wife. I believe that, according to a similar rule, if he shall put her away, he is to remain unmarried, or to be reconciled to his wife. For it may happen that he puts away his wife for the cause of fornication, which our Lord wished to make an exception of. But now, if she is not allowed to marry while the husband is living from whom she has departed, nor he to take another while the wife is living whom he has put away, much less it is right to commit unlawful acts of fornication with any parties whomsoever. More blessed indeed are those marriages to be reckoned where the parties concerned, whether after the procreation of children or even through contempt of such an earthly progeny, have been able with common consent to practice self-restraint toward each other, both because nothing is done contrary to that precept whereby the Lord forbids the spouse to be put away, for he does not put her away who lives with her not carnally but spiritually, and because that principle is observed to which the Apostle gives expression, it remains that have wives be as though they had known.